Currently I have over 200 film cameras in my collection, of which these are just a few. And real photographers might wonder why then that the camera I'm used the most is this one, the Sawyer's Viewmaster personal stereo camera. So in this little video I'm going to explain why that is, and also a little bit about how you use these cameras. As a camera collector rather than photographer, I do try and use all of my cameras at least once, but I'm way behind on that, and this means that it's actually very rare for me to use cameras multiple times. This one is an exception. This one being a Sawyer's Viewmaster personal stereo camera, released in 1952. It's a 35mm stereo camera, half frame, designed to be used alongside the Viewmaster toys, which older people may remember from their childhoods. The toys were plastic viewing devices that enabled people to see pre-made slides from around the world, historical places, interesting places, anything of that nature. So there's a classic example that some people may remember, and very simply, it's a viewing device, as you can see, and you would pop your slide in the top, just so, turn it around, look through the viewer, click through the various images. So I was actually started looking at these because I was trying to find a Christmas present for my sister, in fact. Just a little naughty jokey gift that she would remember. And my wife and I started looking through the various eBay listings, and we discovered that they actually came in various styles, including some really quite nice older ones. This one here is a Mark II, I believe, the second model made, which has a slightly different way of loading, as you can see there. Also come ones like this, which are closed module, so you don't need a light source to point it at the window, basically. With the ones that's got an internal light source. And it was while we were looking at all the Viewmaster toys that we discovered that in fact there exists the Viewmaster camera. It had never occurred to me that you'd be able to make your own slides for these devices, and once I saw this, well, I immediately fell in love with it and had to have it. One of the reasons I had to have it was that it bears quite a nice resemblance to possibly my favourite camera of all time, absolutely beautiful Kodak Bantam Art Deco Special, and you can see they're sort of a little bit separated at birth going on there, but yes, I loved it. So looking at the camera itself, you can see, aside from the twin lenses, it's a fairly straightforward 35mm camera. Back opens, you load the film, you can see the half frame feature inside there, and one of the interesting things about it is this kind of focusing mechanism on the front, where you can judge the conditions, whether it's dark or light, and focus accordingly. And of course I discovered that it also came in brown and had to have one of those as well. It's exactly the same other than the colour scheme, but I do find that the black one works better, so that is the one that I usually use. Speaking of using, when I bought it I hadn't had any real thoughts about using it. I'd assumed it was going to be a shelf piece, but my wife had other ideas. She was very excited by the idea of making our own slides, so set me off on a quest to discover how to do it. Now the camera itself is a 35mm camera, standard 35mm film. That's straightforward enough. It's obviously the making of your own slide reels that's the trick, and I soon discovered that you can these were made and you can still find them, not cheap, but they do exist out there, and yeah, you see, you just simply get blank reels that look the same as the other reels, just empty slots, along with envelopes for them. Yep, and that's simple as that. But of course the next step is actually cutting the slides to fit into those reel mounts. And for that you need a slide cutter. So before I show you the cutter, I'll just show you what you get back with your developed slide film. As you can see, you get 4 images per frame, because it's half frame camera, so it takes 2 images going one way, then you reverse film, and 2 images for each frame going the other way. So it's a little bit complicated to sort out which pair go together, and that is why it is very helpful to have a dedicated slide cutter. You could in theory do it by hand, but much easier with a device like this. This is obviously looking a bit old and rusty, but it does the job. And you simply mount your film, your developed film, into the cutter. Demonstrating this is obviously not developed film, but just showing you how it works. It slots in under there, and there's a knob with a ratchet, and with that you can feed the slides through, and looking through the windows at the top you can see, make sure you have the paired images lined up. And then once you're ready and happy, you just press the lever down to cut them out. Now this did originally have a light bulb wired in underneath, but that looked a little bit unsafe to me when I got it, so I instead use a light box underneath it, and that works just as well. So once you've cut out all your slides, you're ready to mount them into your empty reel. So you mount them, the 2 pairs opposite each other, and working your way around. And it's a good idea, I find, to have a template. I mean a genuine reel to use as a template, because getting them the right way up can be tricky. So you need to see whether they're upside down or not as you load them. So I've had a little bit of practice at this now, because my wife insists that we take the Viewmaster anytime we go anywhere new on holiday. So here's our selection. Now the front half there, those are pre-made slides, but all these at the rear are ones I've made from our travels. And there are a few accessories that come for the Viewmaster. This, for example, is a attachment for taking close-up photographs, which obviously just sits on the front like that. There was also a flash attachment for indoor photography. Quite a chunky device, as you can see, but that obviously just sits on top of the camera in the correct position. And you could get projectors to project your slides onto a wall or a sheet or whatever to amuse your family and friends. This is the deluxe model. It's quite funky, but it does only project 2D images. There was a 3D model available, but it's very expensive to buy, so I do not have that. So that's about it for this video. I'll just finish by saying that this is the Mark I version produced in the USA. There was a Mark II produced in Germany, but it was much less attractive and required a different film cutter, so I haven't bothered to invest in either of those. So that's that. I hope this was enjoyable, informative, and thank you for watching.